everybody, and welcome to another casual team gaming duo Shoutcast. I'm here once again with the ever-loving...
Hello, it's Mortar.
Absolutely.
Ever-loving.
Ever-loving
Jeez.
Mortar.
What am I, the Easter or the what
You
is
can
it,
do it.
the Energizer Bunny of Love?
Yeah, the Energizer
Yeah.
Bunny of Love.
You
I don't
tell
know.
that don't tell that to anybody.
I think I know someone I could probably tell that to.
Bad idea.
Anyway, we're going to jump right into TeamSpeak right now. We're going to get a little bit of a laydown on how this team comp's looking. We're going to go over the blue team first with the Graves, and I'm assuming a Lux in the support situation, a Darius in the solo top, Fiddlesticks in the jungle with a Nidalee in the mid lane. Pretty strong bottom lane with a Graves Lux. A lot of CC for the Graves to get more attacks off on.
I would almost like to see a Graves in Italy though.
I think I would like
probably
to
not gonna
too,
happen,
but
though.
it seems that the Swag 69 Lux with the exhaust flush is probably going to be the support for the Graves. Either way, let's go over the purple team now.
Got some serious names going down here.
Oh yeah. Go over the purple team. We have a Ashe and a support Sona being in the bot lane. Sona being a really strong character right now. With Miles Zahar, go ahead in the Lord Lucky Charms in the mid lane with the Headless Hecarim in the jungle, and Irelia actually in the solo top situation versus a Darius. That's going to be really tough for both of them. That could go either way. That's such a strong lane.
There is
for
a
each.
teleport on the Darius.
There is a teleport on the Darius. That's definitely, yeah. We're going to be seeing. I think we're going to be seeing some telly ganks, or as the Darius would do it, telly dunks, and it's going to be
coming flying out of the brush.
Yeah.
Giant man with a axe above your head.
Basically, I think we're going to see a lot of the telly dunks, but we're going to get right into this game from the get-go. Really interesting to see a Fiddlesticks. He's starting to become a little more popular in the jungle scene lately. Just really good to see such an off jungler like that and get a little farther away from the usual standards.
It just weirds me out that Machete actually works with him.
Well, it is, technically speaking, damage.
Yeah, but it's like every single proc manages to work it, which is, I think, why it works.
That might be it.
But not to mention, his bird does an obscene amount of damage as a result of the Hunter's Machete.
Absolutely. That bird already doing bonus damage to minions, and giving that even that extra, I think it's 10% with the Hunter's Machete is going to be a really big deal.
Yeah, it looks like we have a mid in Italy, moving 407 in the brush.
Definitely not catching her in the jungle.
So ridiculous.
That passive on
Nidalee. I don't
Nidalee.
really understand putting her mid.
Well,
The one place where her passive really doesn't come into effect.
well, she does have really good roaming as a mid lane, not as much as a solo top. Being able to go either which way and still return to her lane. She's a very good at level 6 when she can apply a lot of pressure to the lane and keep the minions pounding on that tower as long as possible. It's really hard to fight her as a champion. She doesn't have any AP. It looks like it's definitely not AD, but
What's interesting is the amount of AP coming out of the Sona right now.
the Sona actually rocking some AP. Let's see. Oh, wow. 29. That's a lot of AP, but that's not exactly bad for a Sona, giving her much stronger heals and even more damage than Sona level 1. Probably has the highest burst combo, I think, of any character.
What, her nice,
Q into the power chord.
Yeah, power chorded Q.
I think that actually might be the highest level 1 burst of a single target support in the game as of date. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, we could see a support in Italy just drop a spear at max range and that might do some more damage, but I'm thinking that that's a lot of burst coming out. Now, if the Ashe was smart right there and they waited, they might have been able to get a wow, they killed that ward. They might have been able to get a crit power chord Q off on one of those two, and that would have been probably half their health.
Seriously.
Easily. Getting a little bit of poke damage off in the cube. Graves is going to be able to dash in with the buckshot. The
And he
Ashes.
dodged the Ashe arrows.
Yeah, he did. He actually did dodge the volley. It's deceptive how long volley's cooldown is at low levels. And that changes significantly at max rank when it goes down to a 4 seconds cooldown, giving her basically an AoE extra auto, which is pretty strong. Lux being a little presumptuous with her spells there and just kind of throwing them in a line, thinking she's going to hit everyone. Now, Graves not doing a lot of damage to this Ashe right now. The Sona does pop the healing aura, which gives him a little more bonus armor and magic resist. Not a great
missed
amount.
play on her part, though.
Who's the
Doing
Sun?
the auto attack prior to her Q. Just completely lost her damage.
Yeah, that's a little upsetting, but you do keep him on the power cord on the aura. Actually reduces damage output by a character by 20%.
I feel a little bad for the Nidalee versus Malzahar just because he pushes so hard.
Yeah, it's definitely a Nidalee versus Malzahar is a little upsetting.
And pre-6, it's just going to hurt like heck.
And pre-6, even at 6, it's going to be really difficult for this Nidalee to combo down this Malzahar. She will definitely have to make sure he does not have Ignite if she's going to fight him.
Look over to the Fiddlesticks for a second, would you? Are you
Alright.
getting an invisible large golem?
Yeah, Golem doesn't exist. Looks like we have a lot of spectator glitches lately. Riot needs to jump on this. Getting towers that don't show up in the top UI, getting golems and other abilities, and even some of the monsters just not plain showing up. It's a pretty big deal when you're trying to spectate. I don't even know if any of this happens in their spectator clients for their current ICL tournaments coming up next week. Once again for round 2. That's going to be a pretty big deal. They might need to jump on this.
That would be problematic if all of a sudden half the information to talk about really didn't show up.
That would definitely be really, really problematic for them.
You get our invites in the mail yet?
Our invites in the mail? Yeah.
Commentating
Let me get right on that.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get right on that. I might do a shoutcast of it, but I'll never get a stream key for it, so I don't think we're ever going to get the chance. Maybe one day, maybe in the future we'll...
Direct in-person invite. Just boot freak out.
Oh, God, I would initiate girly scream here, you know, like... That would be the day when I actually got a really cool invite like that, but I don't think that'll happen anytime soon, but one can hope. He's actually going to try for the TP here. I think he'll make it out. Nope.
Ooh.
Nope.
Start a little sooner.
Maybe, yeah, he definitely, I think a little sooner he would have made it. I don't even know where he was going to TP to.
I feel like he had an Ignite, though, on him.
He did. Rally ignited him.
Probably would have cost him still.
Oh, depends on where he teleported to.
You can't really teleport to base, though.
No, but if he'd done it a little sooner, I think he might have been able to. Actually, I don't know. Can you teleport to the base turret?
I don't think so. I think it's untargetable.
Is it?
Yeah, it would appear to be untargetable.
Man.
And you can't teleport to Nexus as far as I remember. I think you'd have to go to one of the base towers.
Yeah, still. It was a really good effort. It was actually a smart play on his part. He should have done it sooner. It definitely would have made him back. I don't think they would have had the damage to burst him if he did it sooner.
I think he can be knocked out of it by the Hecarim dash.
I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest with you. Here comes the... Wow, double flash simultaneously on both sides here. But the Nidalee is going to be able to choose to... I think she might try to stay.
Stick it out? Yeah.
She does have a Fairy Charm, giving her mild mana regen. Not a lot, but enough that might keep her in lane long enough to push this minion wave back. But Hecarim is here to basically counteract her push. Would have landed that spear on him if it weren't for not that minion in the way. A little bit of...
and the cat form comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love that manaless cat form.
Absolutely. Stack tiers all day long and not have to worry about anything.
Too bad Gunsu's doesn't do what it used to. But at least it has new added passives.
Yeah, having Ginsu's nerfed a little, but again, given a buff, so not as bad.
Yeah, it's nice that it gets a buff when stacked. I felt like that was always missing from it originally.
I mean, when you're low and all of a sudden, hey, here's a bonus spell pen or spell vamp and lifesteal, and here's some extra AP for your troubles. Easily going to be able to stack this tier, though, in kitty form. Which I think is kind of funny.
Pouncing all back to lane.
And you can always... I think people forget that you can stack tier with the manaless abilities. Even though it procs from all forms of mana now, it does specifically say abilities and mana expenditures. So...
I guess that's useful.
What is this Nidalee leveling here? She's leveling her spear like a good Nidalee. I hate to see the ones that level the heal first in the mid lane. That doesn't make sense to me. I guess he'll give survivability in lane, but what's the point if you're not going to be able to fight them out for every, what is it, like 12 seconds on that cooldown?
What the cooldown that they seem to be exhibiting is 10.
10? Well,
10
close enough.
seconds, yeah.
Either
And
way, I don't really agree
notice
with it.
any cooldown.
I don't really agree with it. Now here comes Malzahar. Does have his ulti. They're going to easily be able to get a kill on him, but I think he has a ward. Yes, he does have a ward, so he'll spot this
And
Malzahar.
a incoming arrow from the bot lane, trying to snipe the
And there he goes.
big ol' whiff.
Followed it all the way off into the mountains. Oh well, it looks like we have a little action in the mid lane. Hecarim will easily be able to exchange with her, but I don't think he's going to be able to fight her for long. She's not going to land the spear. That might have actually been his death.
It would have done pretty
At level 4. Lux has taken a lot of damage in the bot lane. Looks like they might have done a little damage there. Hecarim is...
placement that picked up the sight of a Fiddlesticks trying to come over the wall.
Oh wow, really big pickup right there for the Hecarim and the Malzahar. Hecarim ulting in, Malzahar ulting as well. Really, really, really lucky play.
Guess it's worth it for that kill, though.
Yeah, it that would mean it be a pretty worthy kill. He did manage to pick up a an assist on that.
Double ultimates feel so costly all the time, but I guess it's only mana and time.
Yeah, really, they're equal cooldowns, and it's not that much to begin with. Now,
Are you gonna see a throw here?
Fiddle is dead.
Throw.
Why would you try, my friend?
My
You're not going to be able to outdo his damage.
Nicely refresh, double buff, get to go back with, what is that?
Lux actually picking off the double on the bottom lane.
1,400 gold.
Wow.
With that Malzahar right now.
Double kill on the bot lane by this Lux. Didn't even use her ulti. Come on now, bottom lane. Work on that.
Well, I guess that's okay, because given the misplay by that Fiddle, they got some catch up to do.
Now, I think that will be the only 2 kills in the game right now for the blue team. Really, really, really early flash.
Intriguing buys by this Malzahar. I don't know if you saw that.
What did Malzahar buy? Bought
he
boots and 2 Doran's rings.
He went back with 1,400 gold and goes Sork Pens.
Well, Sork shoes with Doran's rings is pretty strong.
I guess.
It's going to take a lot of damage here. Nidalee is definitely getting pounded by this Malzahar, taking both parts of the Call of the Void and the minion attacks and the Malefic Visions dot, along with the red buff dot from an auto attack.
And yet, 1 pot and 1 heal later, and she's back to full.
Definitely the curse of being strong. Now the Malzahar is warding counteractively with his own wards, because Fiddle doesn't necessarily have to always come from bushes. Fiddle can come in lane. I've seen people, maybe not particularly.
Fiddle decided to show up top lane and help with the dunk.
And there's a dunk. That'll be a kill, and the Fiddles will walk away. He's pretty safe right now. A lot of action in the bottom lane. Looks like he might see a
arrow though.
Yep, definitely a dead Lux right there. Not even a challenge. The arrow is off of cooldown.
Coming through to try to snipe the Fiddle, but
I don't think she doesn't want to waste it just in case, and she really doesn't have any vision. That would be a pretty big mistake. Wow, actually managed to hit the Hecarim, not even the dragon. Little interesting enough. Ooh, pretty good damage right there from that Malzahar. That was a pretty close spear too, considering the range in that bad boy.
Jump back and land another one on Hecarim, and you would have had a free kill.
Easily, easily. I think he might have been thinking that was Hecarim in the bush. It doesn't have ward coverage on it. So that's where the ward ends, is right by that bush. Really good guess on his part. I guess he just figured might as well be dragoning since he saw them walk up that way. This is a really interesting match. You don't see the kind of these like that often, but this Fiddle is definitely starting to throw in the jungle. He needs to be really careful. That redeeming himself in the top lane there with that really good ulti to help the Darius start to one-side himself against this Irelia. But Irelia is more of a mid to late game hero. Her early game is really just not there. She requires a lot of levels and a couple items to get there. But right now she's sitting pretty strong versus this Darius if they decide to go toe to toe.
She's got 200 gold up on him.
Oh, she's definitely farming better than him.
And looks like she's probably going to try to fight him because he picked
right
the wrong
there.
wave.
Look at it. I mean, look how much basically how much damage she took from him and how much she did to him. She
He's
has a
got
lot
what?
more armor.
1500, and she's got 1900.
He has more armor, but that doesn't necessarily matter when she has more
Oh, in
HP.
comes the arrow. Oh, almost
Ooh,
walked right into it.
he was really
Oh,
close
that would
right
have been
there.
great.
Now that's a dead Darius right now. I was going to try an ulti for her, but it's not going to be enough. Doesn't have the ignite, as he did take teleport flash. And a bottom lane kill once again on Sona. Double kill coming out by the Graves. Slow coming off from the Lux. Going to be an easy pick off with the flash buckshot. Really, really big pickups in this bottom lane.
I think I'm just hungry because I heard you say snow cone.
Snow cones. Snow cones.
Lux sells snow cones?
Lux, slow, snow cone. Okay, I guess we can get away with it. There's a ward there. Malzahar is definitely doing really interesting ward coverage. Warding both the bushes. Does not want to be ganked by this fiddle. That's going to set him back a little. But the Malzahar will find the fiddle out right here. Fiddle's going to try the fear, I think. But Malzahar is going to ulti right after. He needs to start getting the... Nope. That's a dead Fiddlesticks.
Very, very dead Fiddlesticks.
Not somebody you want to find by yourself without any real form of stopping that from happening. You do not want to meet a Malzahar in a, a dark alley. It's not a...
And Fiddle's supposed to be the scary one.
Harbinger of Doom, not so much, maybe.
Senor Twigs, not
Yes.
standing up to the Prophet of the Void. Or,
Well,
what is he? What?
He's Prophet of the Void.
He's the Prophet? Okay. Wanted to make sure that I wasn't messing that up with Cassidon's title.
No, Cassidon's something else.
Those guys don't get along very well.
No, he kind of condemned his daughter to death. That's not too cool.
I would like to see Cassidon's daughter come out as a character.
Oh, she will. 1 year.
1 year?
1 year. Probably season 6.
I'm gonna be dead by then, jeez.
Oh, that is fast as they're blowing through seasons. Season 3 is only supposed to last until, I think, March.
That's not a season.
That's the last tournament for the season. That's the World Finals. I thought that kind of determined. Look at this trade.
That's
Right
a
here.
serious misplay by the Darius.
Ooh, big play right here. That sphere is not going to last much. It is an Irelia.
Blowing his apprehend as she's already dove to him. It's not like she's afraid of him anymore.
I mean, she can easily 1v1 him. As I said, it's a very close match. The Darius needs to get it ahead early. That's a dead Fiddlesticks. Maybe not. Oh, Darius screwing up his ulti by only a couple seconds. That would have easily been able to probably get some assistance from the Fiddle with another fear. Fiddle's fear is off of cooldown. He did actually not level his drain first. He leveled his birds and his fear. Interesting to see a jungle Fiddle do that.
Oh!
Whoa, that Ash arrow. He will not be able to outdamage her, though. And here comes Hecarim. Here comes Malzahar. Here comes the Visions. I think he's just going to drop the Visions and probably just walk away.
He's gonna walk under tower and just walk.
Needs to be really careful. Another tower shot, and he was in kill range for that Nidalee. One more tower shot.
See the Nidalee hop the wall. Can she still do that?
Yeah, she can still hop the walls.
Wasn't sure which walls qualified anymore.
That one did.
Okay.
The one she was standing at did. Definitely could have hopped that one. No, not a problem at all. Ash coming really close to hitting once again with that arrow. Very good play from this Ash. Not doing too well in the bottom lane, but a Lux Graves is kind of a kill lane. A lot of CC coming out from that Lux.
Level 6 Guchin Sona just blowing a crescendo through everybody, followed up by a nice arrow would mean a good 5
absolutely.
seconds CC.
The CC from the purple team is much higher than the CC from the...
What was that play by the Hecarim?
Taking a spear to the teeth, didn't even catch it.
He walks up to main tower after just taking red buff with like maybe 150, walks straight into a spear,
Ooh.
and then another spear.
Starting to get...
straight into the spear, takes an ignite.
Oh! Double spear. That's a double ace. If anyone knows what that means. You get a pat on the back if anyone knows what a double ace means. But anyway, looks like they're just gonna push the bottom lane. This blue team, really, really aggressive plays coming out from these two, the Graves and the Lux. Lux will take tower aggro for that, but they'll easily pick off the tower, so she'll only take 2 tower shots. Not doing a lot of damage. Hecarim's coming down. Hasn't really been spending a lot of time in the bottom lane. He's been mid and top quite a bit more than that.
I don't really understand why. Top's doing well and mid's doing well, and it's not really adding insult to injury by all that.
Here comes Fiddlesticks. Easy miss. Don't even understand what he was trying to improve. If he was doing anything, he should have done it behind him. gonna manage to land the, there's the ulti. Wow, not doing enough with the Graves ulti, so the Lux ulti will finish him off. Here comes the ulti from Hecarim doing massive damage to these people. The
Oh, there we go.
exhaust coming
Demonic
out.
ultimate.
Here comes the Ashe. Here comes the Crescendo, perhaps? No, Crescendo is on cooldown.
Crescendo already hit.
Did it? I
Crescendo
didn't
hit
even
the
see
same
it.
time the Ashe arrow did, yeah.
Oh, wow. Really good play from those two. Sona will take it, but she'll run right into a Sona and a Hecarim. But Baron will be aggroed, not able to jump the wall again. Came really close. Little bit of a misclick. It cost him about a half a second, just enough time. But the Aurelia was already there. Probably still would have taken the hit. Really good team play from the purple team right there. Showing you how...
ultimates were supposed to work.
Absolutely. And Malzahar didn't even get a chance to ulti. They blew him apart so fast. They feel like, I guess, that he must be the bigger threat. That's definitely not the case. They haven't had to fight the Hecarim with a team. They haven't had to fight an Aurelia, and they haven't had to fight Ashe, and they definitely haven't had to fight it with Sona backing them all up.
I don't know that Ashe is going... Ashe went straight for an IE, though, so...
Interesting pickup.
Ignorable.
No, a lot of damage coming out from Ashe. I would have suspected maybe some kind of Bloodthirster, or just maybe even just the Vampiric Scepter, which does have damage on it now. Double ward coming out from the purple team. They really want ward coverage for this dragon. Malzahar put his ward a little farther forward. It might have been more ward coverage for them, but it's enough for them to spot who they need to spot, and it's enough to spot right by that bush. Lux is going to snipe that. Easy pickup. That was a little upsetting, and that is very dead. Very dead Graves. Gonna probably, I think, pick up this Nidalee. Maybe not. She's gonna transform into a human. I think she might heal. Nope. She's gonna be able to get away. He's gonna try to come after her, but I don't think he's gonna be able to make it.
Nice play by the Lux, though.
Really good play. Threw the Lucent
for the sight.
Absolutely. Throwing the Lucent Singularity in there for the sight to get that ultimate at the perfect time. And the Hecarim, I believe he had his smite up, but I don't think he used it at the right time, and that might have been what cost them a dragon kill right there.
There's no way that a support Lux can outdamage a properly timed smite.
Well, we have to keep in mind she's not really building straight support. I mean, she does have moderate amount of AP, and she does have Sork shoes.
Okay, but her Finalis does 300 damage, assuming no mitigation from the...
Ooh, wow, really good
dragon.
Fiddle ulti coming out, but it's not going to be enough. I don't feel like they're going to make it. He needs to wait just a couple more seconds. Oh, man, this Darius is just... There's the bird. Never mind, we're okay.
The bird is the word.
The bird is definitely equal to, less than, or greater to the word.
Now, are we going to see a quick Hecarim pick up?
Hecarim ulti, will he make it? Nope. Darius will get away. Darius will get away. But Fiddle, on the other hand, is in a lot of trouble here. There's the ulti from the Sona. Here comes the Darius teleport.
Darius coming back.
Oh, man. He tried. I guess he thought about supporting, just wasn't able to do it quick enough.
We have a Lizard Spellblade pick up by the Hecarim.
Very strong couple items right there. That's a lot of strong item right there for the Hecarim. Giving him the AoE auto attack, basically, allows him to do even more damage in his W. Giving him a lot of damage.
Oh,
ooh.
Dodging the arrow.
Barely hit that Ashe arrow. So we
really need just to land a light binding.
There we go. That'll stop most of the push. He could have easily kept continuing. They had a while yet to go to get to that that tower. But Ashe needs to be really careful. Gonna get caught out here. Darius is gonna get ulted, I think.
Oh, come on.
Nope. Oh, God, so much more plays could have came out. Darius hesitated immensely right there. Definitely had a double kill.
The Aurelia has made him a little fearful in a Pavlovian sense that he just doesn't want to pull anybody anymore.
Oh, but he definitely had an easy double right there. Not even a contest. Ashe and a Malzahar right in your face.
Surrender vote failed for purple team. Wonder who pulled that one.
Purple wants to surrender. Interesting call. They're definitely in the lead right now. It's starting to come back. This is kind of a late game team. Fiddlesticks' strong point is right now. This is when Fiddlesticks is going to be the strongest.
What, second point ulti?
At about 22 minutes, Fiddlesticks gets about the strongest. 20 minutes to 30 minutes. At the 40-minute mark, Fiddle becomes literally useless. Which is a little upsetting. Nidalee and Lux are just going to get stronger and stronger. Darius will always get stronger. Graves is a carry, so he's just going to get stronger with time.
I always have a hard time keeping up my damage late game with Nidalee when she's playing AP.
It's definitely at that point you have to start diving in. You have to be a little more aggressive with the cat form. That's the only way you're going to get anything done. A lot of damage coming on this Lux. Lux is going down to the Sona auto with Tech Q
Very
combo.
dead.
Darius is going to pull someone in, but it doesn't matter. That going to go down to the Malzahar's Malefic Visions. Now, the Hecarim is coming in. He decides not to chase that Darius. I guess he didn't want a free kill. And Nidalee is just hanging in the back. This Nidalee is playing really passively. That's not something you really necessarily want to do as AP Nidalee. You have your Spear, which is your major source of damage, but your Cougar form is the main source of damage for Nidalee. Get in there, do a lot of damage with your Cougar, jump away, get away, run across the wall, spear across behind you, get back in Cougar form and do it all over again, and spears are trying to run. That's how you play AP Nidalee. I see a lot of people...
I need you to write that down for me, because I really can't play AP Nidalee at all.
It's definitely, I mean, look at that right there. If you just watched what happened, so much damage happened on that Darius that when the W was up in the Hecarim, he was able to tank every single tower shot and not take a single point of damage.
And he doesn't even have, I mean, he has 150 armor, but that's not a whole lot.
He literally took no damage from the tower because of his W ability. It's something you have to keep in mind. Hecarim's tankiness doesn't come, really bad ult in the Fiddlesticks, doesn't come from... Oh, he really wants that Malzahar to die. Sona flashing the wall, I guess. Didn't want to deal with the four of them. I don't think she would have died to it, but I guess to be safe. Hecarim's actually going to, once again, I don't know if he would have died to it. Just
I really don't think he would have.
Choosing to opt out like that is really interesting to me. It was wasting a flash on the Sona and a Hecarim ulti, which right now is getting to the point where it's a pretty decently low cooldown. By the time they get into another team fight, it should be up. Not a big deal.
75 seconds, yeah, that'll probably do it.
Not a big deal, but it's the point that they're really disengaging when they don't necessarily have to. Now, guess who hasn't been team fighting but has been farming like no other in the bottom and mid lane and the jungle?
This Graves.
This Irelia.
Irelia, really?
Look at her. She's finally doing something. Look at this damage they're not doing to her. Just took 2 ultis, lots of autos, and she might die to it, but I think she'll pick up a kill. Nope. Lex will flash it. And that's a dead Irelia. That crit coming out, really securing her death right there.
We have a above 200 farm on this Graves, though.
Graves is doing exceptionally well, and Nidalee is actually doing really well in this farm sense of things. Now, Nidalee doesn't necessarily need to run from him in Cougar form. Not with a Darius on the way. She could have easily just did a pounce onto him with a swipe.
Oh, half shot flat.
Half shot that Ashe. That's what I like to see. Ooh, barely missing that Sona, but I'd like to see the damage. She's going to have the spear up again right about now. There's this throw. Wow, lots of damage going down on Sona. Sona just had to go change her diaper. Not really understanding what's going on. I think they're going to be a little... Ooh, the minion sparing Sona's life.
Oh my
Gonna get a kill right there. There's the ulti.
Fiddlesticks has absolutely no survivability.
Fiddlesticks, and now the Graves is going to go down. Double kill coming out. Minion once again sparing people the damage and wrath of the Nidalee spear. That'll be 2 spears in a row that 1 saved Sona and 2 just saved Hecarim a little extra damage.
Oh, she should not have run towards that.
Easily could have walked back around. It wasn't going to change the fact that Ashe was going to get dove. She would have done a lot more damage. Barely missing the Hecarim right there. Hecarim does have the 20% debuff right now. Needs to be really careful.
20% debuff of what?
30% debuff. I'm sorry. 30% armor and magic resist debuff from that Nidalee trap. People don't realize that Nidalee trap.
How much that did.
30% reduction in armor and magic resist, as well as granting vision and a decent amount of damage. Another minion gonna survive that one, actually. I mean, it's a decent amount of damage. Used to have a 1.0 ratio, but that was a little too strong.
I would imagine that would probably be difficult.
So they decided to nerf it, but now Nidalee is just a really good all-around character. She can top, she can mid, and she can bottom as the support lane.
AD carry?
Cannot AD carry as of yet, but she's a very good support, and she can do the solo
you think
top.
That's just a function of her range, or?
Well, Nidalee range is actually not that bad, but I don't think as the AD, she doesn't have the carry potential. Nidalee does kind of fall off later in the game. She starts to become less damaging, and really everyone starts to out-tank her, and that's a big problem. She does have the Cougar form giving her bonus movement speed, armor, and magic resist, which is,
She could work with Janna. Because she has a auto attack speed steroid, and Janna has the attack damage steroid.
I mean,
And
as a carry, she definitely has the potential, but she's just not a hard enough. She'd be a good semi-carry lane if you want someone else to do the carrying in your game and just have a really good decoy that does a lot of damage.
Like a Kale top.
Yeah, Kale would be a good example of that. Currently, Kale is really strong in pretty much every lane she plays. Mid, support, and or solo top. Even Kale jungle right now. Even counter jungling as Kale. Kale can jungle rather well, and her counter jungle is exceptional. She can get in there, she can kill the entire jungle, get out, and come back and do it again. I mean...
Got a bit of a misplay on...
Ooh, ulti for this Hecarim. He's going to pick off this Fiddlesticks yet again, I think.
He hits the Fiddlesticks so hard.
Now, Graves is really out of position right now. If they chose to go on him, Graves would be caught out. They're going to try... Fiddlesticks is... Oh, no, they're not going to ulti, I guess. Wow, going to hit that Ashe arrow on the Nidalee. Full 5-second arrow stun. It's a big deal. Graves, as I said, once again, caught out right there. He's going to dash through. Wow, really good dash from this, but it's not going to matter. Irelia is just far too tanky, especially with Hecarim just pounding away on poor Graves there. Now, Sona's going to take 3 tower shots for this. Nope, just 2. But it's a lot of damage coming out. Now, Ashe this entire time has been counter-pushing the top lane, and Malzahar, as that fight happened in the bottom lane, decided to just push the minion wave to the tower. Going to be a double.
Surprising lack of tankiness. Don't mean to cut you off, but
no.
Just looking at the differences between the team healths, you have a significant amount of tankiness on the one side, and then you have Lux and Fiddlesticks who just absolutely melt to Hecarim or anybody really.
Oh, absolutely. The only one who has built any real form of tankiness would be Darius, and that's pretty standard. And actually come in another patch or two, maybe even this upcoming Quinn patch, which is going to be really interesting. Quinn? That'll be the new hero coming out.
I missed that, apparently.
She's not really been announced. We just have a couple letters that the Riot team has teased us with and all that good stuff. But the Darius patch, I think, will be coming with the Quinn patch, where Darius is going to get quite a hefty change to how he is played, and I think we're going to start to see less tanky Darius is basically soloing your team with damage.
Oh, good.
And if someone wants to do damage with Darius, at least effective damage, they're going to have to build a little stronger into the AD. Which is going to be really interesting to see that, as Darius right now can build a lot of tank and just mild damage and just crap on your whole team.
You can just watch as he doesn't really care and starts spinning to winning.
Absolutely. I mean, really the big change is going to be his passive, his Q, and his ultimate are probably going to be the biggest changes this time around. And his crippling strike also not getting its cooldown lowered when he uses it on people who have hemorrhage stacks. That's another big deal. It does get a stronger slow, which is about it. But
Sona with an oracle's up.
Sona's going to start ward clearing.
Pink wards.
I guess they're just not going to bother to auto attack that one down. It is going to run out here shortly. No point in it, I guess. Makes sense. They're really trying to group for a Baron right now. Ashe Arrow's going to come out and stun the Fiddlesticks. Not like it mattered.
Snag the Fiddle going down.
Fiddle's dead. One auto attack from the Ashe will take the Fiddle down. Darius will be going down to the Malzahar. Malefic Visions and Irelia will be soloing out this Ashe, and Malzahar will be coming, or not Ashe, but Lux, and Malzahar will be coming up. Double flash right there.
Squishy.
Here comes the mid lane push.
Okay.
That'll be Ashe.
Yeah,
Static Shiv.
It was weird because the Hecarim hit his Q, and Static Shiv looked like it emanated from him.
Oh.
Which I thought was a rather interesting pickup, which might actually make a little bit of sense on Hecarim now that I'm thinking about it.
Maybe not so much. It's really not that good of an item in general. I just don't. I just don't agree with it. I mean, yes, it gives movement speed, attack speed, and crit chance, but there's no point in building that kind of an item on Hecarim.
I know, but how hilarious would it be for Hecarim to like pop his E, go rushing into battle, fully stack a Static Shiv, and then crash into somebody and send a giant wave of electricity through everybody?
Oh, I mean, if they ever boosted the damage on the electricity, maybe I'd consider that being an item. But that electricity damage is really one of the reasons I just don't like it. I don't feel that it's a very strong... Wow, that Graves getting melted. Lux, wow, big shutdown goal for the Sona actually coming out. She did have 4 kills.
Shutdown gold on Sona.
And there's the Aurelia going down. Now, this could be the part of the game at 32 minutes where they're going to be able to turn around. The Morella Namakon pickup on the Nidalee is going to be a really big deal. That's going to not allow Ash to
Probably
fight
catch
her.
this Ash.
Ooh, that's a
Oh,
pretty bad spear. She needed to throw that up.
seriously. Oh, they're pinned though.
But they're pinned between a Darius and a hard place. But I think we'll be okay. Nidalee will survive that ignite, and Darius is just going to not be able to do anything. The minion from Malzahar is actually keeping the sight for this Darius to basically be.
Stick around with a
Now he
Hecarim
cannot
with all that
solo
slow.
Hecarim at all right now. He needs to either try to fight him or maybe just do some damage. But Hecarim right now is a lot stronger than poor Darius, who got pretty much shafted in the top lane.
trying to run for the fiddle, and the fiddle's probably not going to be able to help him out.
And the ulti from the fiddle. Weird ulti from
Interesting
fiddle.
ulti countered by the
Can he
other
just
one.
fear him? Would have been a lot better.
Yeah. Well,
Now the
he's gonna
fiddle
go down now if they're not
will
careful.
actually not fall. The heal coming out and the shield will keep him alive, and the Hecarim will try to walk away.
The longest save I have seen in a long time.
Definitely. Now, Graves is probably going to try to stop the Hecarim from taking his tower, but the Hecarim will have none of that. He is ignited, and the Graves is doing pretty decent damage. That's not enough damage. I didn't even notice
nice
any damage.
Save by the just off cooldown Hex Drinker. Otherwise,
Wow.
that would have done it.
I didn't even see any damage. This
The
is...
Hex Drinker?
No, I think actually what it was is... What's that? And what is that? God, it's just enough. It was actually enough to where he didn't take any damage from the Lux.
Mm-hmm.
He literally
The
took
thing is
0
that
damage.
It was on cooldown in the... I can't remember. I thought it was on cooldown. May have been a graphical glitch, but it appeared to be.
Well, I don't think it might have been, for all we know. But really interesting that he actually took zero damage from the Lux Laser, which is really upsetting for pretty much everyone involved. That's another
Graves.
kill.
Poor Graves.
He tried a dash flash, but there's the Ash Arrow for the kill. Really big pickup right there. That was awesome. Always fun to see those kind of kills. You don't see them that often, and
Well, nobody builds AP Ash.
only my
That's the
master
problem.
and guru builds
Yes.
AP Ash.
Indeed. But we can't all be Civ, can we?
No, sadly we can't. The day comes when we can have more of the Civ. It'll be a good day in League. And if anyone doesn't know who Civ HD is, you should probably go look up his name on YouTube because you need to be
Fix
watching
that
his videos.
immediately, please.
Definitely need to be watching his videos. I suggest you start with the Shaco guide and then work your way up from there. Because they kind of just get better.
The Shaco guide that Dunkelman got hung up on for like a month.
Absolutely. Really big ulti from both of those people. No damage coming out from anyone. I mean, if you look at the Lux damage right there, there wasn't any to be had. Even hit Sona full on, barely chunked her. I mean,
And she's supposed to be doing 460.
supposed to be. Oh man, this is looking pretty GG. Look at these minions just swarm that Nexus. That's a dead Darius. Ash is gonna take that kill.
Just
Next
the
is gonna
two
be the Graves.
minions are gonna cause us
And
to
there's
go.
another Ash Arrow actually. Nope, Sona's gonna
like
take that
this
one, but there's the GG.
Oh,
Pretty,
boy. Not a good day for Yoked, is it?
absolutely, pretty bad game for everybody involved. There's a couple good plays in the blue team, but this fiddle definitely dragged the team down. Not giving any real jungle support and definitely just not making good plays in general.
Contributing to the general squishiness of his team.
Absolutely. This team didn't have any real tankiness. The Fiddlestick jungle was probably the worst pick. They needed a Maokai jungle or a Jinzhao jungle or something strong like that to really, really get out some damage. Because Jinzhao right now, I think, is almost the #1 jungler, if I'm not mistaken.
Not advocating the Lee Sin jungle.
No, not really. Lee Sin jungle's still strong, but I just don't think it can really beat a Jinzhao jungle right now.
That was
It's
more of a jibe for the imagined cocky who could theoretically be listening to this, because he loves himself some Lee Sin jungle.
well, it's
And when
not
I
a...
say loves, he makes a note of it every time, assuming he's going to lose if it's on his team.
Oh man. Well, definitely a strong jungler, but right now I believe Jinzhao would be definitely a strongest jungler right now with Hecarim coming up and Maokai definitely being in there somewhere. But this game was pretty one-sided for most of it. The Fiddlesticks dragging the poor blue team down. The poor mid Nidalee versus a Malzahar. That's really not what Nidalee needs. Nidalee likes to trade with slow laning phases. Nidalee likes those kind of things. And Malzahar is kind of like, well, there's minion wave, back to my tower.
Yeah,
And
let's push the whole thing.
that's not what Nidalee needs. Nidalee having a heavy pusher. Any kind of heavy pusher.
Lord of Lucky Charms and farm.
Absolutely. Farm status, AFK. Malzahar here can just drop a Malefic Visions and auto attack once in a while and pretty much clear minion wave, not have to worry about anything. Hecarim doing really strong ganks on all sides. I really just not really being, I don't know, there. Darius not being able to do any damage. I don't know what his deal was. He did pretty decent damage in the early game, but once it got to like pre-mid game almost, he just kind of stopped. And every way, shape, and form. And Irelia was able to trade with him, and she really didn't have anything besides HP, and she didn't even have that much more of that than him. So I don't really understand what happened. I don't want to try to understand, I guess, but we'll leave it at that.
I think it was interesting to see how that was an early pickup of Quicksilver Sash for the Graves.
He did definitely try to counteract the Malzahar ulti.
He was ahead in bot lane by quite a bit. And had he just kept building damage, he probably would have been able to scrap his way out a little better. But he did walk into quite a few ultis.
Absolutely. I mean, the problem is that he was succeeding very hard in the bottom lane, but there was no ganks in the bottom lane. He had to deal with a Sona and an Ashe. He had a Lux to back him up. He was pretty much just going to go kill everyone. That's kind of all he had to do and all he had to worry about. And then once the other team, the Hecarim, really started to get him into play and the Malzahar was able to single him out, they really don't have a lot of ways to knock Malzahar out. They have two ways to knock him out of his ulti. They have a Darius and they have a Fiddlesticks. And that's it.
Fiddlesticks is not going to do it.
And Fiddlesticks died as soon as the team fight started because for some reason he thought he was a tank and sat in the front a lot. That's definitely not something you want to do in a game like this.
Yup.
Especially when you only have, I think, like 1,000 HP at any given point in the game.
Yeah, that makes it pretty darn easy to take a hit or two and watch as your health just drains away.
Definitely. And his drain did not even get leveled like it should have been in the jungle, allowing for his ganks to be much more effective. You do not level the bird in the jungle. You level the drain in the jungle. Level the bird in lane, with your fear always being the second choice regardless of what you level. But I don't understand his pathing on jungle. I didn't like his ganks. He only had one good gank off the whole time. That was on the Irelia in the top lane.
I'm not very happy with this fiddle, are you?
I mean, that was just a poor Fiddlesticks play. Fiddlesticks can be literally a terrifying jungler. He can counter jungle really easily. He has really good ganks with his bird into a drain, into a fear. He has probably some of the best uplane ganks in the game. Just being able to like, hi, I'm here. And then he'll drain you to death.
If only the Dark Passage were invoked on that.
Oh, if
Dark
only.
Passage box Fiddlesticks.
That'd have been something to see. Thresh pickup right here would have been awesome. But I don't know. It makes me kind of sad that Fiddlesticks failed so hard. But versus a Hecarim, it's definitely difficult for Fiddlesticks to fight it. It's really hard for anyone to fight Hecarim, except for maybe Lee Sin and Jin Zhao. I think are probably the only two that could really go toe-to-toe with him. Lee Sin definitely being a better early jungler than Hecarim. Hecarim requires a lot of startup time to get going in the jungle and really be able to have really, really good ganks and have a strong team fight presence. That ulti is basically all Hecarim does if he's behind. He just kind of ultis and hits somebody, Qs a couple times and walks away and hopes he doesn't die in the process. But eventually it becomes the point where Hecarim is actually almost unkillable unless focused completely by the opposing team.
He certainly can build health, and watch his 20% really does its magic.
Health and just being in a team fight. Being in the center of damage in his W is basically going to keep him alive. The more damage you do to Hecarim, the more damage he does to you with his team, the less you're going to have a chance of killing him. It's really an interesting mechanic to look at into a team game like this from such heavy melee hero like Hecarim. All of his abilities giving him basically the same radius as his W. Just allowing him to do all this damage inside of it, all these extra stuff that his team can do, standing on top of people who are going to be doing damage to him. Like, I mean, come on.
Gotta get those Lulus to buff him up.
Absolutely, giant
Just
Hecarim's are
completely
terrifying.
block everyone out.
Yes, giant Hecarim's are fun to watch. But, anyway, this is us here at CTG, Jesus Died 24, and
Happy to have you guys around.
as always, we want to remind you to keep it casual and keep gaming.